What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm showing you my number one TCG Blackwing deck profile. Um Guys, this deck helped me to win my locals with 16 people, I think. So I played against Drytones, I played against Fluanderies, I played against every possible deck that you can just imagine. And yeah, I mean this deck, first of all, there will be days or tournaments, guys, where you completely just brick 4 games in a row. Like, it shit happens like that, bro. It happens. Like, even the best decks sometimes can brick and you might lose. Like, it's not your day. Okay. Don't put your head. Don't put your head down because you lost a local tournament with that deck. Because I'm guaranteeing you, guys, if you do the right combos, if you keep on practicing with the deck and going to the tournaments, you will one day win also the local tournaments. I promise you that. Because like it took me 10 to 20 local tournaments to finally win one without losses. Like, it took me a lot of tournaments. And not saying that all those other tournaments that I went through were bad, but I always had like 1 or 2 losses. In general, I win out of 4 games, I win 2 to 3 games, and I always lose 1 or 2 games, like something like that, because my opponent plays 20 hand traps, and if he starts a game with 4 hand traps and a 1 card combo, there's nothing that you can do, right? So this is not a meta deck, guys. This is not a meta deck. It has a lot of potential, and I'm trying my best to building it as competitive as possible, but yeah, it just takes a lot of time until you actually go big with this deck, right? But whatever, let me just go and show you the deck profile that I use for the tournament. So, first of all, I'm playing 3 times Simoon, 2 times Chris, 3 times Bora, 3 times Zephyros, 1 Oster, 1 Gale, 3 times Gust, 3 times Hamilton, 1 Arashi, 2 times Black Wildwind, 1 Call by the Grave, 1 Radiant. Radiant is basically just here for the bridge for the small worlds, and I'll show you in a second how I use small world. And I'm playing 1 Ash, I'm playing 1 Effect Veiler alongside with Nibiru and the Infinite Permanence, only because it just happened too many times that I lost so many games against those 4 cards. That's why I decided to add those crossouts to the deck, and yeah, I had to. And then the Raiders Ring, Strangle Lanyards, Boots, Magic Launch, Magic Force, and the Brigadine are basically just here to go for Kali Yuga. So the only purpose of those cards is Kali Yuga. Alright, and for the X deck, we will play 1 full Armor Master. I like to play Draco Berserker, guys, because first of all, going second, he can actually be so helpful, like really so helpful. That's why I like to play that card. And like, and the second thing is just so cheap. Like, if you don't want to spend too much money on Ball of Savage Dragon, just go for the Berserker. It almost gets the same job done, almost. Not, of course not the same, but this is like a couple euros cards, a couple bucks cards, and Ball of Savage Dragon is like 35 bucks or something. And I gotta say, Draco actually helped me a lot of times, man, a lot of times. So I like to play him. And the Yaze, obviously, we only play him to go for the Indestructible All-Master. Then we got White Strix, 1 Badish, Raiders Knight, and Arc Rebelling. Sea Dragon is basically just to go for an OTK. 4 Strix, Asnod Falcon, Ultimate Falcon, and the Yuga is just our basic combos that we use to go for King Kali Yuga, alongside with Magician. Gem Buster is here to have something against Nibiru or any other monster hand traps that your opponent can use while you're going for Kali Yuga. Then we also got Time Thief and Zeus. Guys, I like to play Zeus because sometimes just summoning Kali Yuga is not enough. You were able to summon Kali Yuga, but your opponent was still able to survive. So what you're gonna do is attack your opponent with Caliuga or any other monster that you have, and then summon Zeus. Okay, because Caliuga's effect is only in the first turn he gets summoned. After that, he only has that effect where he can destroy spells and traps, but he's not really a big threat for your opponent anymore. So what you're gonna do is attack and then summon Zeus, because Zeus is gonna be a way bigger threat, right? But aside that, guys, we are playing one red reboot, RP Feather Duster. Basically, those cards are just against Flute Gates, Eldritch, Dracos, whatever. 3 times Darkwood No More if your opponent is playing Scythe. If he's playing Scythe Lock, usually Darkwood No More gets the job done. Prohibition is also a going second card that I like to play. Sorry, if you know, like for example, the first game you lose, and then now you can decide if you want to go first or second. Obviously, you want to go first. Then you're gonna side in those 3 prohibitions, just to go off with your combos. Then those Cosmic Cyclones I also love to play because, first of all, you can use those Cyclones on Scythe, or even on any other Flute Gates that your opponent has. So Cyclone is a really good card. Then on my side deck, I have 3 times Allure of Darkness and Beyond. The reason for that is because, first of all, Pot of Prosperity is too expensive for me. I'm not going to play Pot of Prosperity. And second of all, if you are going first for show, like you know that you're going first because you lost the first game or the second game, doesn't matter, then you want to add those Allure of Darkness to draw more cards. Okay, I mean, you can also play Pot of Prosperity if you got the money, but if you don't got the money, go for Allure of Darkness. And also the Beyond, you can play him in your main deck if you want to, but I'd rather play Beyond on my side deck, like going second, because usually the main combo that I want to do is, if I don't know my opponent, because I have no, first game you don't know what your opponent is playing, right? On the tournaments, you don't know what's going on, and you can always be surprised by kaijus or whatever. So first of all, I always try to play safe with Caliuga, and then let's say I'm going second, because going second summoning Caliuga is almost impossible. So what we're doing is we're taking out those magic launches, we're taking out those Raiders Knight. Like, let me show you real quick how I would side my deck. Okay, just real quick. Main deck, before you flip the coin, this is what your deck should look like. Okay, now let's say you won the first game because you summoned Caliuga perfectly. So what you want to do next is you're gonna take out those crossouts. Sorry, my nose is itchy, what the fuck. Alright, so you want to take out those crossouts, you want to take out your hand traps, and you want to add, oh fuck, now I got rid of him. Alright, give me a second. Come on, man. Now you want to add those prohibitions. You can add those Allure of Darknesses if you want to. And what I also like to add is you can also add Beyond, going, like, if you know you are going forgot to speak English, man. If you know you're going first, then you can also play with Beyond, because there are possibilities where you can summon Caliuga and the indestructible armors at the same time. So it's up to you, basically. And yeah, like, going first, this is what your hand should look like, okay? But let's say you are going second. Let me show you how that should look like if you're going second. Alright, going second, obviously you want to take out Call by the Grave. And now it depends on, guys. You also don't need to cross out. So those 4 cards are definitely going out if you are going second. And now it depends on who you're playing against. If you are playing against a lot of Flute Gates, Eldritch Dracos, whatever, put Red Reboot in it, put Harping Feather Duster in it, put those Cyclones in it, like that. And yeah, you can take out those other hand traps, like you can take out Ash, Veiler, Nibiru, and Imp, because against Flute Gates, those cards won't do shit against Eldritch or whatever, right? So you definitely want to put in those 5 cards, okay? But let's say your opponent is playing something else, like Cyflock. Against Cyflock, you want to add those Dark Willow No Mores in there, like that. And you can also keep the Ash, Veiler, Nibiru, and Imp if you want to. But if you're desperate in drawing Dark Willow No More, then take those cards out. Right, take those cards out and put in those Ashes, those Veiler, Allure of Darknesses. You can also take out the Veiler and put in, sorry, my bad. Yeah. You can also play it like this if you want to. Oh shit, sorry, my bad. Messed up again. I'm gonna keep the Raiders Wing. So yeah, if you're playing against cards or decks where you're desperate to draw the Dark Will No More, then you can put in those Allure of Darknesses, Dark Will No More, and the Beyond. Okay, so this is how I won the games. And now is another thing. Let's say you know that you can't, that you basically going second, you will almost never be able to summon Kali Yuga in this game, okay? So what that means is you can actually side out your Magic Launch and your Silent Boots, because going second, if you are drawing those 2 cards, you're probably gonna lose the game, right? So you want to take those 2 cards out, and depending on the situation, you can put other cards in, like in Veiler, or even Red Reboot, or Feather Dust. It doesn't matter, right? So just depending on the situation. So yeah, I also like to take, like I said, I like to take out the Magic Launch and the Silent Boots. Well, it's up to you guys, of course, at the end of the day. And yeah, I mean, it's basically it. Now let me show you a couple combos. Alright, now let me show you guys how to play this deck with Small World. So let's say, it really depends on the case, right? So first of all, let's say you want to go for Simoon. If you want to go for Simoon, all you need basically is either Silent Boots on your hand or another Blackwing monster. It doesn't matter. You can also have Raider's Knight on your hand. It doesn't matter. Activate Small World, okay? From your hand, you have to banish Zephyros or Silent Boots or Raider's Knight, doesn't matter, one of those cards. And then from your deck, you need to banish the Kaiju. Once you banish those 2 cards, now you can add Simoon to your hand if you want to. And now, the other thing is, let's say you don't have the Kaiju on your deck because the Kaiju is already on your hand, but you still have the Small World. So what you want to do is activate Small World, banish Kaiju from your hand, banish the Boots from your hand, and now you can still add Simoon to your hand if you want to. But now let's say, another case. Let's say you have Simoon on your hand and also Small World. So what you want to do next is, you're gonna activate Small World, banish from your hand, for example, in this case it really does not matter. You can have the Kaiju on your hand, you can have Zephyros on your hand, it really does not matter, even the Boots. You can banish, let's say in this case, you're gonna banish Zephyros from your hand. Then from your deck, you're going to banish this Silent Boots. Now you can add the Beyond to your hand. And Simoon and Beyond is the fastest way of summoning the indestructible Armor Master. No, sorry, the second fastest way. I'll show you the first way in a minute. Alright, so this is how you're going to search for Beyond, for Simoon. And let's say your opponent summoned a big ass indestructible full Armor Master. So what you're gonna do now is, that's all you can do is get a Kaiju to your hand, right? What you're gonna do is activate Small World, banish from your hand either way, either a Blackwing monster, or you can also banish Beyond from your hand if you have drawn him and you don't need him. Banish one of those 2 cards. From your deck, you're gonna banish the Silent Boots, and now add Kaiju to your hand. Now you're gonna get rid of the indestructible armor master that your opponent just summoned. So yeah, this is how to beat also your main boss monster, by the way. But let's say, because this is also something that happened to me a lot of times with, let's say, Gust, Gale, and Bora. For example, let's say this is your starting hand. It's the best fucking starting hand that you can ever have. Because first of all, there's nothing that your opponent can do. Because check this out. You're gonna start the game with special summoning Gust, special summon Gale, special summon Bora, normal summon Bian, and all of this is enough to summon the indestructible Armor Master, just like that, without activating any effects. And now you're asking yourself, how do I get Bian to my hand? Well, Small World. It's like that. And believe it or not, like, because it happened that I played against a lot of decks that had like a complete indestructible board with a lot of Omni Negates and all that, but your Omni Negates can't do shit if I'm not activating anything, right? So I'm not activating those effects by summoning all of those monsters. So all you're gonna do is have to wait until I do something, right? But if you have a perfect hand like this, guys, then you're the chosen one. And it happened to me a couple times. I won against top decks like that. And by the way, this is also the reason why I like to side Beyond, because usually our opponent thinks that our main boss monster is Caliga. It's not. It's really not, man. It's actually Indestructible Armor Master, but you don't want to show your opponent in your first game what your deck is capable of, right? This is it. I won so many games like that because my opponent was like, you know what? I got so many hand traps. It's going to be easy for me to interrupt his second Caliuga. So like first game you summon Caliuga, second game he's going to be like, there's no way I'm ever going to let him summon Caliuga ever again. And you're going to be like, bro, I don't even care about Caliuga. That's not even my main boss monster. I'm just going to go for Beyond this time and surprise you. And he's going to be like, what the fuck? Happened to me so many times, guys. So many times. Alright, guys. I mean, that's it actually. If you want to see how I use all of those monsters, just go on my channel. I have a million videos and showcases of how I play with all those cards. Just, yeah, pick one of those videos, right? Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this deck profile, guys. It helped me to win my very first local tournament. And yeah, by the way, guys, for every Blackwing player out there, man, you are a top G. Why are you a top G? Because you're not riding a train like everybody else out there and playing those top tier meta decks. Sword, flew under it. No, you're out there playing a deck that Konami is not even aware of, that is the best deck in the game. It might not be. You know what? My personal opinion, this is the best deck. Why? Because it has so many different big main boss monsters that you can go for. Like, your opponent never knows what's gonna happen next. Never. Only if you played against your opponent like 10 million times, now he knows the deck, of course. But if you go into a random tournament, no one is going to expect you to beat the living shit out of everybody. No one. And this is what makes you top G. Making one of the worst decks one of the best. You're welcome. Alright, good night.